Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to dual boot Ubuntu and Windows without losing any of your data. A lot of people think this is complicated, but I promise you, it's actually pretty straightforward. I'll walk you through every single step, from downloading the files to setting everything up. By the end of this video, you'll have both operating systems running on your computer, and you'll be able to switch between them whenever you want. So let's get started. Alright, let's jump right in. I'm currently on Windows, and the first thing we need to do is download the Ubuntu installation image. Go ahead and open your web browser, head over to the official Ubuntu website, and navigate to the Download Ubuntu Desktop page. From there, grab the download that matches your system. I'm downloading the version for my Intel 64-bit processor. Now, if you happen to be using an ARM-based system, just click on Alternate Download and grab the ARM version instead. Perfect, the Ubuntu image download is now in progress. But we're not done yet. We also need to download another essential tool called Rufus. Just search for it in your browser and open the official Rufus website. Once you're there, scroll down to the download options and grab the portable version of Rufus. For those who don't know, Rufus is a tool that creates bootable USB drives for operating system installations. Alright. As you can see, I've got both Rufus and the Ubuntu image downloaded and ready to go. Now let's open up Rufus. But before we continue, you're going to need a USB stick for this dual boot setup. Make sure it's at least 8 GB in size. Go ahead and plug your USB stick into your PC. Rufus should automatically detect it. Now, before we turn this into a bootable drive, there's one more important step we need to take, and that's checking your system's partition style. From your desktop, press the Windows and R keys together. This will bring up the Run command window. In that window, type msinfo32 and hit Enter. This will launch the System Information utility. Now take a look at the BIOS mode entry. If it says UEFI, then you'll need to select GPT in the Rufus tool. But if it shows Legacy BIOS, then we need to choose MBR in Rufus instead. Here's a quick tip to help you figure this out. If your laptop or computer was manufactured after 2015, it almost certainly supports UEFI. Alright, let's head back to Rufus. Now we need to select the Ubuntu ISO file. Click on the Select button and choose the Ubuntu image we downloaded earlier. Next up, change your partition scheme to match your BIOS type. I'm selecting GPT for mine. Once that's set, simply click the Start button and accept any prompts that appear. Just a heads up, this process will completely wipe all the data from your USB drive, so make absolutely sure you've backed up anything important before proceeding. Great, the flashing process has started. While Rufus does its thing, let's go ahead and create some space to install Ubuntu alongside Windows. Open up File Explorer and click on this PC. You'll see a list of all the drives currently connected to your computer. In my case, I've got 3 drives showing up. One is the USB drive we're using to create the bootable installer, and the other 2 are my SSD and hard drive. We're going to shrink some space from the SSD for our Ubuntu installation. To do this, we need to open Disk Management. Just press Windows plus X on your keyboard, and from the menu that pops up, select Disk Management. Okay, so here you can see I have 2 physical disks, labeled Disk 0 and Disk 1, and each one has multiple partitions. Your setup might look a bit different. You could have just 1 disk, or maybe more than 2. It really depends on your specific system. Now, we need to figure out which one is the SSD and which is the HDD. Since SSDs are significantly faster, that's where we want to install Ubuntu. The easiest way to identify your SSD is to check which disk contains your C drive, because Windows is typically installed on the SSD. In my case, the C drive is located on Disk 1, and it has 3 partitions. So, we're going to shrink some space from the largest partition here, which happens to be the C drive itself. Right-click on the C partition and select Shrink Volume from the menu. Now, if you have multiple SSDs in your system, you can shrink space from any of them. It doesn't necessarily have to be the C drive, but whatever you do, avoid using your hard drive for this. Hard drives are much slower, and Ubuntu will perform significantly better on an SSD. Now, this menu is showing us the total amount of space available to shrink. I'm going to shrink about 25 gigabytes from my C drive. That's the minimum requirement for Ubuntu. But if you want to give Ubuntu more breathing room, just enter your desired amount in megabytes in the text field. Once you've entered your amount, click on Shrink and give it a moment to complete the process. Perfect, the shrinking process is complete. Now you can see a new unallocated partition has appeared in the disk layout. Just leave it unallocated for now and close this window. Now let's check back on Rufus to see if it's finished. Looks like it's still copying files. Let me fast forward through this part for you. Excellent. Our bootable USB drive is now ready, and we've successfully created the space we need for Ubuntu installation. Now comes the fun part. We need to boot from this Ubuntu USB drive. But before we do that, let me quickly explain what BIOS and boot menu actually are, just in case you're not familiar. The BIOS is basically your computer's system firmware that controls how everything starts up. It allows you to modify settings like boot order and secure boot options. The boot menu, on the other hand, is a one-time startup menu that lets you choose which device you want to boot from, whether that's your SSD, hard drive, or USB drive. Now let me show you how to access the BIOS and boot menu. You can see the specific keys for different laptop and computer brands displayed on your screen right now. And if you can't see your key combination listed, just Google it. I'm using a Lenovo laptop for this demonstration, and first we need to boot into BIOS mode. So, restart your computer. As soon as the screen goes black, start repeatedly pressing the BIOS key for your specific brand until the BIOS menu opens up. Once you're inside the BIOS, navigate to the Security section or tab and look for the Secure Boot option. You can see that my Secure Boot is already disabled. If yours is currently enabled, you'll need to disable it in order to boot Ubuntu properly. After you've disabled Secure Boot, head over to the Exit tab and click on Save and Exit. Now here's the important part. Before you click that Save and Exit option, get your finger ready on the boot menu button. As soon as the screen goes black, start repeatedly pressing the boot menu key for your brand until the boot menu appears. Once the boot menu opens, you'll see several boot options. We need to select the USB drive option. Your USB might have a different name, but always look for an option that has USB in its label. Selecting this will boot Ubuntu on your computer. After selecting the Ubuntu USB, the first screen you'll see is the Grub boot manager. Choose Try or Install Ubuntu from there, and it will take you to the Ubuntu installation screen. Awesome! Our Ubuntu setup has successfully booted up, and it's now running through some initial preparation. Once that's done, select your country and keyboard layout. And here's a pro tip: don't connect to Wi-Fi during the installation. Skipping this will make the whole installation process much faster. Choose Do Not Connect to Internet and press Enter. Now, from this screen, select Install Ubuntu. Next, select Interactive Installation. On this screen, choose Extended Apps. We definitely don't want to settle for just the basic apps, so click Next. And on this next screen, make sure to select Install Additional USB Drivers. Now we're at a crucial step. It's asking, how do you want to install Ubuntu? Choose the option that says Install Ubuntu alongside Windows OS. By selecting this option, Ubuntu will automatically detect that unallocated partition we created earlier and install itself there without any manual partition configuration needed. Perfect. Now go ahead and enter your name, username, and password. After that, choose your correct time zone and press the Next button. Alright, we're all set. This screen is showing us a summary of our choices, including the disk selection, installation type, and other settings. From here, click on the Install button to begin. Now all we have to do is sit back and wait while Ubuntu installs. This will take a little while. I'm going to fast forward through this section of the video. And just like that, after about 10 minutes, the installation is complete. Now click the Restart button. When your PC prompts you to remove the installation media, simply unplug your USB drive and press Enter. And look at that! Our computer has successfully booted into the Grub bootloader, and it's displaying both Ubuntu and Windows as options. Just select whichever operating system you want to boot into. Let's boot into Ubuntu first, and then we'll test Windows as well. Perfect, we've successfully booted into Ubuntu, and if we open the File Explorer, you can see it's also showing my Windows partition and hard disk partitions, so all our data is intact. Now let's quickly boot into Windows to make sure everything works there too. To boot into Windows, just power off or restart your PC. During the startup process, select Windows from the Grub menu. And there we go, we've successfully booted into Windows as well. Everything is working perfectly. So that's it for today's video. Pretty simple, right? You now have both Ubuntu and Windows running on your computer, and you can switch between them anytime you want. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tech tutorials like this.